Hello and welcome back to more High Peak. Well, today you join me in sunny Spain. In fact, when I say sunny Spain, it's more like oven Spain, gas mark 6. It is like a furnace, it's roasting. Or as the locals say, hace mucho calor. Anyway, enough about the weather. My name isn't Michael Fish or Thomas Schaffenacker. I was just sitting here minding my own business and it suddenly dawned on me, you hadn't had a Fiat Panda update for quite some time. Now, if you remember, about 3 years ago, I bought a very cheap diesel Fiat Panda. It was a 2010 1.3 turbo diesel, and I bought it for just £250. When I bought it, I expected my mechanic to completely condemn it, but they didn't. It turned out to be quite a decent thing. So rather than sell it, I did what any petrol head would do, and I kept it. In fact, I grew quite attached to it. So attached, in fact, I drove it all the way down to southern Spain, a journey of around 1,500 miles. That was mainly just to see if it would make it, and to kind of prove that there's still life in these old cars. You know, many people would have just scrapped it, but not me. I formed this weird bond with it. The little plucky Panda made the trip without a fault, and then when it arrived here, I parked at my parents' driveway and it's been here ever since. Then for the next few months after that, every time I visited Spain for the odd weekend, I used it, and I really liked it. Then, of course, sadly, the MOT ran out, the tax ran out, so it's just been parked up collecting dust. I've had lots of people ask me about it, so I thought today I'd give you a quick update. Plus, I've got my parents pestering for the driveway back. So I do need to do something with it, and I'm not sure what. Now, I could drive it back to England, I could transport it back to the UK, I could sell it here, I could just scrap it. I really don't know what to do with it. Had I not formed a bond with it, then my decision would be easy, but sadly I have. Anyway, today I'm armed with the dusty flip key for it, and I thought we'll go and see if it starts. Bear in mind I haven't started this car now for months. I just thought we could try it together. Let's go and have a look then, shall we? But first, some agua. It's like 34 degrees here today. Let's have a look then. Well, there she is. Now, it's been parked there for, well, since I drove it here. Well, since the MOT ran out, actually. So, quite a while. Now, weirdly, the tyres are still inflated. It's got those triangle tyres that I had fitted. I bought these little chocks for it so I could leave the handbrake off, just so the handbrake wasn't locked on. See, I do care about this thing, weirdly. But it's just covered in cobwebs and dirt. And this Spanish sun has destroyed the paintwork. Let me show you. So yeah, all the tyres are still inflated, so that's good. It's covered in dust, as you'd expect. But yeah, look at the paintwork. So the sun has just eaten into the lacquer. Now, there was always a little bit of lacquer peel, and you're going to get that on a red car anyway. Do you remember the video I did on the main channel recently with the Subaru Impreza? That was exactly the same. But this is pretty bad, especially the bonnet. Looks like my shoulders after I've spent too long in the sun. But it's still quite straight down the panels and stuff, isn't it still? I just kind of feel bad for it. So I do need to do something with it. Now I could, this is the thing, if I took it back to the UK, I could get it down to Jimmy, ask him to paint the bonnet, paint the roof, just paint everything really, and just get it looking at, you know, its best. Purely because I like it. Could get a new fog lamp guard thing, fog lamp, what do you call it, blanking panel thing there. Could get one of those for it. I'm sure that had it. I don't know whether someone's pinched it while it's been in the driveway or it's fallen off. Headlamps could do with a buff. But yeah, we could do something with this, couldn't we? But then also, it's not worth anything, is it? So what do I do? Now, it's done 154,000 miles or something, so it's not exactly low mileage either. Yeah, that's my option. Now, it's gonna cost me probably £500 to get it back to the UK in fuel and tolls and, you know, everything else, Eurotunnel crossings and stuff. The tolls are the most expensive part. Now, fuel-wise, it should be quite cheap because I was doing like 65, 70 miles per gallon with it. So that won't cost me much. But do I spend £500 on a £200 car, or is that just stupid? I think I know the answer, but I've got this weird bond with it for some reason. My other option is to stick it on Facebook Marketplace here for like €300 or something and just try and get something for it, or scrap it. I don't know what the scrap value is here. I've never scrapped a car in Spain. I know in the UK I'd probably only get 150 quid for it right now. I scrapped a couple of cars recently in the UK and didn't get much for them at all. It's sort of too good to scrap though, isn't it? Now, let's have a look, shall we? Every time I left this, I always disconnect. That's not a good sign, is it? I always disconnected the battery. There we go. I always disconnected the battery, and every single time I came back, wow, it's hot. I hooked up the battery terminals, and it fired straight up. So I'd expect it to do the same thing. Apart from the ripped driver's seat, though, it is quite clean, isn't it? Let's have a look in the back then, shall we? Wow. You can tell this hasn't been used for months and months, can't you? We've got a case of water there. That's it, really. Let's have a look then, shall we? Can't remember what I've left in here. Nothing. Nothing at all. Even the gas struts work on the boot. I can't scrap it, can I? Should we hook up the battery and see if it works? Where's my battery terminal thing? Oh, it's on that side. I think it probably will, to be honest. It's never let me down before. Let's try it then, shall we? Now, the other good thing with the little Panda is that, from memory, the hinges are so stiff, you don't actually need to put the little latch out. It just holds itself, which is a nice feature. Right, so I disconnected the positive, so if we hook this back up, there we go. That should fire up. But before we do, I just need to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Car Vertical. Now, before you buy a used car or motorbike, it's really important that you do a thorough vehicle history check. And with Car Vertical, that couldn't be easier. Don't worry, I'll leave the link below in the video description, but all you need to do is go to carvertical.com and type in the reg or the VIN. And this, by the way, works, well, it works here as well. It works in 35 different countries, so it isn't just a UK thing. It doesn't take long and it isn't expensive, and it's cheaper still if you use my promo code HIGHPEAK. That's HIGHPEAK, all one word, HIGHPEAK, and you'll save yourself 20% off each and every check that you do. So you simply type the reg or the VIN in, and then it produces a thorough, detailed report. So it'll tell you things like whether the cars have been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. Sometimes as well, if the car's been involved in an accident, it shows you photographs from the recorded damage, so it's quite a handy tool. Also, I've had it before where it showed me photographs from the last time the car was advertised. So that's quite a good feature because you can compare the condition. It also shows you things like the MOT history, the ownership changes, the spec, the average market value, and a whole lot more. So definitely check them out before you buy a used car. Anyway, thank you Car Vertical for sponsoring another video.
Why did you do that?
Why did I what? Oh, just to save the battery. Yeah, otherwise the battery drains, yeah. Little tip there for you. Wow, it's hot. Get rid of this thing, shall we? Right, it's done 155,000 miles. Got half a tank of diesel even. I can't scrap it, can I? You don't see the appeal with this car, do you?
See the lack appeal.
Right, wait for my glow plugs. Not that they need any heat today, honestly. Are you ready for this? What do you think? You think it'll start?
2, 1.
Hey! I can't scrap. They just don't make cars like this anymore, do they? Oh, my air conditioning doesn't work though, so that does need to be regassed. But it's quite a decent thing, isn't it? Now it's crying out for a mini valet, but sadly we don't have a little hand car wash place around here, so I should drive it to the car wash myself. But the car's completely illegal. There's no OT on it, no tax, no nada. So apart from driving it around this little private estate, I wouldn't want to take it on the main roads, to be honest. I knew it'd start, you know. And for a little 1.3 diesel, it's as sweet as a nut. I can't scrap it, can I? We've got no warning lights on, only one to tell me my door's open and my seatbelt's off. But that is it. Even my city steering works. Do you want this for your 30th maybe, as a gift? Well, what should we do then? Do you want to move the splash out and we'll take it around the block? Yeah? Right, let's give it a quick drive, shall we? While we try and make up our mind. I was going to take it around these streets just because it's a private estate, but I daren't, to be honest. It's a bit risky. There's no OT, there's no tax. It is insured though, it's still on my insurance database. But yeah, if I bumped somebody or something, that would be a bit stupid, wouldn't it? What should we do with it then? What do I do? Pardon? We could drive it to El Charo and push it in the lake. It's too good though, isn't it, to drown it?
No one wants to drown a panda.
No one wants to drown a panda, indeed. We're a bit dry there. My wipers are chafing. Alright. I was pressing the wrong button. Even my wipers work. Okay, we're out of water. What do we do then? What do we do with it? Now, there'd be absolutely no mileage in taking this back to the UK, tidying it up and then reselling it, because it's only worth probably £1,000 if it was really tidy. So there's no point doing that, there's no profit in it. I just quite like it. And I don't really want to scrap it, because I'm a bit of a hoarder, if truth be told. Yeah, I don't know. It would be a bit foolish to drive it back, all the way back to the UK, wouldn't it, with no tax and MOT? That would be silly. I'd have to get it trailered back to the UK, which is going to cost me like $750 maybe. Yeah. That wouldn't be worthwhile doing, would it? The last car that I brought to Spain on a trailer was the little 500e. That cost me about £1,000, but that was because it was a last minute thing. If I was patient, maybe I could find it for $750. The logical thing would be just to sell it as it is for spares, wouldn't it? Stick it on Facebook Marketplace and flog it. But I probably should do that, shouldn't I? If I'm that desperate for a Panda, I could just buy one in the UK. I don't know. So yeah, you're gonna have to let me know in the comments below what you do with this, because I'm tempted to keep it, but I don't know what for. I can't keep everything, can I? I just quite like it. And I quite like the fact that it's a small, cheap little Panda. I quite like it. The other option, I suppose, is to put it onto Spanish plates, but then of course I'm left with a right-hand drive car in a left-hand drive country, which would be a bit annoying. There's so many underground car parks and stuff here in Spain, you've got to reach over for tickets and stuff, it's just a pain in the neck. It is an option though, but then that would cost me about €1,000. It wouldn't be really worth doing, would it? I could just buy a Spanish one. So yeah, I'm not sure. I have bought kind of a replacement for this though, which is left-hand drive. So there's no need for them both, is there really? So I've probably answered my own question here. Shall I show you what I bought as a little Spain holiday car? Let me show you. So this is what I bought to replace the Panda. Well, not replace the Panda, but just a little holiday car, really. So it's a 2008-2009 Suzuki Splash 1.3 automatic, left-hand drive, 5-door. So the Suzuki Splash is basically the same as the Vauxhall Aguila, but it is a Suzuki rather than a Vauxhall. It kind of looks like a Swift, really. From the front, anyway, looks like a Swift. But then it's just got it's slightly higher up, so it's easier to get in and out of. And there's no boot. Now, I've driven this over recently from the UK, and it was fine. Got it with almost no issues. My only issue so far was my fuel door's broken, so I've just done a little temporary repair by jamming a twig in the side of it. But this will kind of do the job, won't it? It's Spain, no one really cares about cars in Spain. You just need something to get you from A to B. Wow, it's hot. Should we take this for a quick spin? Why not? Okay then, right. You forget what this is like when everything's red hot. You can't even touch the steering wheel. Now this car, by the way, has only done 69,000 kilometers, so it is quite low really. Stick my phone on charge while we're here. Yeah, it's quite low mileage, it's only like 45,000 miles, so it's not too high. And this being automatic as well, it is quite gutless. It's a little 1.3 automatic, it is a bit sluggish, but it does make it easier to drive, especially when I've got people over or like my mum or whatever who only drives an automatic. It does make life a bit easier when we've got a car here that everyone can just use. And it is quite similar to the Panda really. It just lacks the character that the Panda has. So it's a similar size to the Panda. It's a bit higher up like the Panda is. There's no boot like the Panda. So, I don't know. I just thought I'd give you an update really, because people still ask me about the little Panda. I suppose I'm going to have to just get rid of it, aren't I? Sadly. The plan with this one is to put it on Spanish plates, which will cost me maybe €1,000, maybe a tad more. Things like that are expensive here in Spain. It's currently on British plates because it was in Britain for the last year, maybe 10 months. Now the process there was really straightforward. It cost me about £300, that was it. Some import duty to pay, and that was that. Next thing you know, I got a V5 in the post and I could screw my plates on. But putting it on Spanish plates will be a touch harder. Also the air conditioning gas while it was in the UK, so I've now got ice cold aircon. You know what, it's kind of similar to that, isn't it? As tragic as that sounds. That's a Hyundai. What was that, an Atos or an Amica? It was the predecessor to the i10, I think. Anyway. It is currently, in case you're wondering, 34 degrees. 34 grados. But no, this drive's fine. It isn't the quickest. In fact, I was taking some mates back to their hotel yesterday in it. So there were 5 of us in here, 5 adults. And it was a bit crowded and a bit underpowered. Thankfully, most of my journey to the hotel was downhill, otherwise I'd have really struggled. But no, it'll do the job. It's only going to get used the odd weekend here or there, so it'll be perfectly fine. So yeah, I think that's about it really. I just thought I'd give you an update with the little Panda, and do let me know what you do with it in the comments below, because I'm curious. We're not going to make any rash decisions with that. I know my parents want the driveway back, but they'll have to wait a little bit longer. It's been there for 2 years, so... You know, I checked the MOT on it recently. The MOT ran out in 2023. So time flies, doesn't it? None of the paint's a mess. It's been parked there under the Spanish sun for 2 years. But yeah, that's about it. So thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'll leave the links below. And yeah, until next time, see you later.